ancient humans witnesses to catastrophic fireballs from a 62-mile-wide comet near the end of the last ice age. These fireballs caused blazes larger than the dinosaur killer asteroids. And these were, of course, the last ice age, 12,800 years ago. This is what a new study suggests because of the fragments found of this 62-mile-wide comet. This would have caused massive fires across roughly 10% of the Earth's surface, and the resulting dust would block out the sunlight, of course causing a volcanic or nuclear winter, and would have brought on the Ice Age. Large species would have died out, extinction. Humans saw greater risk of cancer, ozone depletion, and there have been many times where we've had bottlenecking of humanity. Very few humans were left because of these ice ages. They couldn't have clean water to drink, they couldn't farm, they couldn't find fruits and vegetables. Animal species were dying out, they were die-offs. Inclement weather, extreme weather conditions. You can imagine what was going on. This is by Cheyenne MacDonald for Daily Mail. This is fascinating stuff, and this is, of course, we're learning about new things, archaeological and anthropological, geological, astronomical, all the time. They're very interrelated. So, nearly 13,000 years ago, and it's also from what the ancients have been writing for us, the records, the ancient records. Earth may have been plunged suddenly into an apocalyptic scene, with barrage of fireballs lighting up the sky, and followed by powerful shock waves, of course. You can imagine it's not just the impact on the Earth, it's also the tsunamis that were caused, the earthquakes, the volcanic eruptions that ensued, everything together. The shock waves, fireballs across 10% of the Earth. The sky turned black, dust blocked out the sun, temperatures rapidly plummeted, causing plants to die out, glaciers to advance. Of course, animals would have gone extinct, tremendous die-outs, and what soon became the near ice age state. And there were humans at that time. Humans were witnesses to all of this and had very grave consequences. It's according to the new research suggesting fragments from this 62-mile-wide comet disintegrating, that is, it was cut in pieces and falling as fireballs, struck the Earth 2,800 years ago, spurring burning events larger than those caused by the dinosaur killer asteroids. You can imagine a comet, much bigger than asteroids. So the new study on geochemical and isotopical markets, on the markers, they examine the minerals found in the rocks, which involved 24 researchers, argues that the cosmic impact thousands of years ago left behind very high concentrations of platinum across the northern hemisphere. This could be found in a number of sites, including ice cores collected from Greenland ice sheet, linked to the Younger Dryas boundary. That's a period roughly around 12,800 years ago, towards the end of the last ice age when glacial conditions began to advance again. And according to what this new research has found, an impact could have triggered this cooling episode. And they said the work includes measurements made at more than 170 different areas, the sites around the world. This is what Adrian Mello states. It's from the University of Kansas, Emeritus Professor of Physics and Astronomy. He says the hypothesis is that a large comet fragmented and the chunks impacted the Earth, causing this disaster. And this is what the astronomers have recently told us. Asteroids don't come in alone. They come in at least in binaries or in groups, because many times they come in broken up. There's also the effect of the sun's rays, heating up the surface of these asteroids, these celestial bodies, causing them to tumble on their axis. It's as if you're hitting them with something. And as they tumble, they break up, they fragment, they fracture. And that's how they come in pieces. If you remember the Chelyabinsk meteor that came over Russia and exploded over Russia, that caused damage to over 7,000 buildings because of the broken glass, etc. Well, that same day we had one that came in over the United States, and nobody saw those coming in. Nobody saw them coming. The explanation was that it was behind the sun, coming from behind the sun, and they couldn't see them because of the sun's light. That's from what I remember. So now it says here, the hypothesis is that a large comet fragmented and chunks impacted the Earth, and this is what caused this disaster. A number of different chemical signatures, carbon dioxide, nitrate, ammonia, and others, all seem to indicate that an astonishing 10% of the Earth's land surface, or about 10 million square kilometers, was consumed by fires. You remember we had one of the videos yesterday. We were talking about an asteroid impact, and they found a gray ash cloud. The asteroid impact actually was a collision. It was an asteroid collision above Earth. Okay, two asteroids collided between themselves. They impacted each other, and the dust and ashes from that were spewing all over the Earth, covering the whole Earth. And that line, we showed a picture of that line of dust was covering the area of Earth at that time, and it would have caused an extinction event. And that was, again, a bottlenecking of humans. You can imagine how many times this has happened, because we have a lot of scars on Earth. How many times this has happened, we have no idea. Because the thing is that they have much newer equipment. The technology is really advanced nowadays. It can very easily, very quickly figure these things out, mineral examinations, etc. And this is what they found. Now, it says here from this impact here, this was an Earth impact, the pollen analysis indicates that pine forests were likely burned off and later replaced by poplar trees. This species is known to colonize cleared areas. Okay? The pine trees were burned off, and regrowth of poplar in clear areas. The impact would have equally been catastrophic for humans and animals alive at the time, of course. Now, when were Earth's 5 great extinction events? We have the end Ordovician mass extinction. The first of the traditional Big 5 extinction events, around 540 million years ago, was probably the second most severe. Virtually all life was in the sea at that time, and around 85% of those species vanished. And then after that, we had about 150 million years after that, the late Devonian mass extinction, about 375 to 359 million years ago. Major environmental changes caused a drown-out extinction event that wiped out major fish groups even, and stopped new coral reefs from forming 100 million years ago. This does not say anything about pole shift, but I believe that we could have had pole shifts along with this as well, because when you have an impact from such huge bodies, perhaps it could have tilted the Earth. It could have helped tilt the Earth. And we have found that because of the coral that has been found in various locations of the Earth, coral usually grows in temperate, very warm waters, and usually around the equator. And scientists have found coral even around the North Pole. South Pole, which means that those areas were once where the equator is today. So obviously we had tremendous Earth pole flips and pole shifts. Okay, let's just keep that in the back of our minds concerning all this as well. Now after this we had the end of Permian mass extinction, the Great Dying. That was about 125 million years later. It seems like it's every 125 million years. So the Great Dying, the end Permian mass extinction, the largest extinction event, and the one that affected the Earth's ecology, most profoundly took place 252 million years ago. As much as 97% of the species that leave a fossil record disappeared forever. Then we had the end Triassic mass extinction. The dinosaurs first appeared in the early Triassic, but large amphibians and mammal-like reptiles were the dominant land animals. The rapid mass extinction occurred 201 million years ago, changed that. Then we had the end Cretaceous mass extinction. Again, it's about 150 million years later, it's like clockwork. So the end Cretaceous mass extinction, an asteroid smashed to Earth 66 million years ago. That's a dinosaur asteroid in the Yucatan Peninsula. And it is often blamed, of course, for the ending of the dinosaur age. That's a dinosaur extinction event. That's at the Yucatan Peninsula in Central America off Mexico. So some larger species now of the late Pleistocene became extinct as a result of the Younger Dryas and the 12,800 years ago event, and the human population experienced cultural shifts, of course, and decline in population due to the many health problems that would have followed, as you can imagine. Computation suggests that the impact would have depleted the ozone layer as well, causing increases in skin cancer and other negative health effects. This is according to Melo. The impact hypothesis is still a hypothesis, but the study provides a massive amount of evidence, which we argue can only be all explained by a major cosmic impact. Now, according to the researchers, there are remnants of the ancient disintegrated comet pieces likely still remain in our solar system today. They're still there. And we wonder, maybe, we have to refer in conclusion the two interstellar comets that came at us. The Huma, they came in 2017, that came and went very quickly because they saw it towards the end of its leaving our solar system. It's good that they found it at least, as opposed to not seeing it at all. And the beginning of August, we found another interstellar comet. It's still at us. It's inbound towards Earth. It's going to be passing us between Mars and Earth. And it was found by an amateur astronomer, Gennady Borisov, from Crimea. He's an amateur astronomer, and they named it after him. And it will be pretty close to us even throughout the month of October. And of course, they have found it. They're following it. It has a tail. Again, as the first time the interstellar comet came through, there are those who believe it could be an alien probe, etc., without having any evidence, of course. These are the SETI people. They're out there hoping that they find. They're the search for extraterrestrial life. But it seems to be a comet. And there are those astronomers who have said that we appear to have a brown dwarf star in our vicinity that has planets or has something at the edge of it that has not become a conglomerate, and it seems to be spewing stuff out, and it's spewing those celestial objects out at us. And they expect that we will have a lot more of these things coming in at us. So we don't know now if they were from that event 13,000 years ago, or if they're a new event. And NASA also, we have to keep in mind, remembering that they gave us some astronomical information a couple of years back when they told us that we have a brown dwarf star at the edge of our, not far from the edge of our solar system. A brown dwarf star. You know, stars usually, when they become brown dwarfs, doesn't mean they get rid of their planets. You know, they may have planets along with them and planet systems and God knows what else. They're Oort clouds, they're asteroid belts, just like we have. Who knows? Anyway, that's what happened. Humans, of course, would have been witnesses. It would have been a tremendously terrible time to be alive. And thank goodness they did have bottlenecking. People did survive. I'll leave links below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.